Welcome back to another IFPG Discover, where we discover the best, hottest, newest, and up-and-coming brands. Today, we got another great one. I'm your host, Red Boswell, in case you didn't know, with your IFPG consultants, Painter Bros, hot category, emerging brand with this an all-star team. We get to meet Bailey, brand manager, and founder CEO Zach Tanner today. Welcome to IFPG Discover, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
It's always fun on a audio or video interview when I have more than one person. We love talking over each other. Don't worry, that's the delay we live in with this wonderful technology of ours. Always a second delay, so it's we're good. And by the way, guys is a term I use with Bailey as well. She's one of the guys. It's
I'm okay. I'm a bro, so it's okay.
You're a bro. Come on. All right. Love it. Well, Zach, I always like to start ladies first. Bailey, Zach's the founder. So Zach, you're most appropriate. Give it to us. Who is Painter Bros?
Yeah. Thanks, Red. We're a nationwide painting company with a focus on working with national accounts as a corporate team, and we are franchising to provide infrastructure to fulfill services nationwide.
Nice. How long? When did you found Painter Bros, the original organization company?
We're going on about 10 years ago.
All right. Knows his business. And
Yeah,
man, I am so paranoid. I'm going to call you Jason because I got in my head you're Aquaman. So awesome. Or you might call, I don't think I'll call you Jesus, but yeah, doesn't he look familiar? Yeah. Don't they both look familiar? I feel like I saw him on like a movie or something. Well, fantastic. And Bailey's really working on the front end with all the franchise efforts and the growth. So excited to learn more about that from her. Jason, I already did it. Zach, I'm going to stay with you on another one. So we have the candidates. We're going to talk a lot about what you're looking for with a franchisee and certainly what's attractive to the consultant, but the consumer, you've been doing it a decade now. Why does the consumer choose Painter Bros over the 83 other competitors in the market?
No, great question. And that actually, it's something, when I started it, I didn't even have that part defined, right? You don't know what you don't know until you start really working in it. But I would say we're a technology-based company at the end of the day. And what our technology allows us to do is to harness enough data to prove why we're the best at what we do. And what we do is we provide service. We provide a very high level of service, and we track all of our KPIs through our technology. Things as simple as response times to a lead inquiry, response times to every phone call that comes in, text message response times, times from the time we receive a lead to the time we execute the project, depending on the priority. And so we can prove that we are the best, and this is why we're the best, because we do it this way. And our customers love it because we can do it nationwide, and we do it in every state every day, and it's what sets us apart.
Well, you know, earlier, Zach, I heard you mention the term national accounts, I think you said. Give us a little more insight on that. That could be a nice differentiator too.
Yeah. So traditionally, national accounts, corporate America, they work with facility maintenance companies who have service providers who are all contractors, right? Yeah. And so what they're missing on the value side is they don't have a company to work with who has a systematic approach that's going to be the same in every single market, right? Someone in Des Moines, Iowa is going to be different than Sacramento, California, because they're just subcontractors. Yeah. And so what we do is we focus on interacting and cultivating relationships based on the same experience nationwide, because we're all trained the same way, we all operate the same way. And whether we're working with Extra Space Storage or Prologis or Walmart or whoever, everyone gets the same thing. They know Painter Bros is exactly what they say they're going to be. And we've had a lot of success with it. They really enjoy it.
And so a new Z could enter day one with some relationships already established on a national basis with some pretty big dogs you just named.
Exactly. Yeah. And or sorry to cut you off, Bailey, you wanted to go after something, but yeah, essentially, Red, you're right? Because when you're building a business, as everyone knows, you have cost per acquisition. It costs money to make money, and that's when your biggest cost is, how do I get customers? And so we said, hey, let's mitigate that cost. Let's limit your out of pocket by giving you work. And so I don't want to steal Bailey's thunder, but I might have to here. So Boise, I'm guessing you're going to talk about Boise and North Carolina.
Yes.
I'll let you take it then. You can chime in.
Hey, that's exciting news that a Z could start out. And consultants, I know you heard that well. when you're talking to a candidate, presenting those final brands, those final 6 to 12 brands that you're introducing your candidate to, that then gets narrowed down to 3 when you register them and make that official introduction back to the ZOR. Why would you want to show for Painter Bros? Man, national account's a big one. I heard the Wally World, Walmart word out there. That is not an easy one to secure. So that's exciting news. Okay, Bailey, Miss Franchise for Painter Bros. You're heading up the franchising efforts. You're going to be dealing with the candidates. You're going to be dealing with the consultants. So who is the ideal Painter Bros franchisee?
So, I mean, we look for the business owners, the entrepreneurs, the empire builders. We want people that are actually interested in running a business. They're not the painters. They're not out there going and doing all the work themselves. I'm a franchise owner myself, but I'm definitely not painting the houses or going on construction sites. We hire everybody for that. And so we're looking for the folks that are, they've been in corporate America. They're kind of tired of it. They've hit that glass ceiling and they want to expand and do something more. Or the people that have already owned businesses and they're looking to add to it. My business partners own a cleaning franchise already. And so this is something additional that we're adding onto it. So I've had a lot of really great candidates coming in the pipeline lately that they're exactly that. We're looking for more of that semi-absentee model to full absentee. So
yes. Okay,
yep.
So semi-absentee or owner operator, you're good with both. You've proven out both. You can. Are there any extra requirements for a semi-absentee? Like, does that manager of the business have to own any equity? Are you good with? Do you have to train the manager? How would you approve a semi-absentee deal?
Semi-absentee is probably more of what I shoot for, anyways. Okay. Just the way that our system is built, Zach mentioned our technology, the way that it's been set up is for people to come in and actually be owners and be able to just oversee the company rather than getting involved in the day-to-day. They're investing maybe 10 to 12 hours a week after a while. First couple months are going to be a little bit more invested. And after that, they may have somebody that they hire on to do the sales or the estimates and going out. We have all of our subcontractors. Mm-hmm. And so it really is set up to allow them to actually just run a business rather than being run by their business.
And so are you on that semi-absentee? You mentioned after a couple weeks or a couple months, they could hire a manager. What if you've got this ideal candidate, they want to be semi-absentee really kind of from day one and keep that executive job where they're making some good coin? Yeah. Can they hire a manager right away and they're just going to manage them, the 5 to 10 hours a week, but you guys are training the manager and that manager's run the business. Is that okay?
Yeah. So a lot of time, they'll come out for training, their initial training for a few days. And I would suggest if they have somebody hired on at that point, bring them with so they can get the sales training. But yeah, it's on them. They have an idea of what they're looking for. And I have a few folks right now that's what they're doing. They're bringing on their managers. They already know what they're doing. And so from day one, they will be more of that semi-absentee model.
Perfect. And what about, so I heard Empire Builder, nice term. Multi-unit is, of course, part of empire building.
Yep, that's usually what I shoot for is 2 to 3 units. Because if they're wanting to hit over that $1 million a year in annual revenue, I feel like it makes a lot more sense with 2 to 3 territories.
You can get there faster.
Get them to that goal. Yeah.
How big's the territory?
250,000 population.
Zip codes, contiguous.
Yeah, I do zip codes.
Okay, awesome. Where are y'all based, Bailey?
We're in South Salt Lake, Utah.
South Salt Lake, Utah. Corporate offices, okay. And how many units currently open and maybe sold, if that's a different number?
Yeah, so we have 8 territories, or 8 owners right now, and 15 territories. And then we're looking on closing about another 10 to 15 territories in the next few weeks.
Wow, good. That's a healthy clip. Exciting.
Yeah.
Right on. Okay. Bailey, staying with you for a moment. Let's talk numbers financially. Okay. What would Painter Bros item 7 all-in investment range be?
So an all-in for a single territory, you're looking at about 90,000. That includes your franchise fee, plus, you know, your operating costs. And I looked at their operating costs for close to a year, right? Is more of a padding how I look at it. As they're bringing in revenue, that will help assist with some of those operating costs. But I usually try and encourage that 90 to 100,000 to pad them for several months throughout the year.
Right. So, you know, consultants, you heard her mention the extended item 7 time frame. Really, technically, as a franchisor discloses an item 7 as the first 90 days, but they want to be extra safe. They don't want the new franchisee to get in financial straits, and so their item 7 is expanded a little bit more. We hear that sometimes with stores being extra cautious, and so kudos to you for not trying to make it every penny as low as possible, but rather a realistic, safe number. If they, so in that 90, you mentioned it includes, of course, the franchise fee. What is the franchise fee?
So single territory is 55,000.
Okay, 55.
2 is 102,000, and then 3 is 144,000.
144. Okay, so you've got that laid out, and then if they wanted to do a 3-pack, that would shoot them closer to 200 all in.
Yeah, so I would say 210 to 250.
Okay.
Because if they're doing that 3-pack, they might be looking into more of that semi-absentee to full absentee model.
Right. Yes. Yep. Okay. 250 for a 3-pack. Yep. We do those deals all day long. Love it.
Good.
And then what about item 19? You're fairly new brand, fairly emerging. Bailey, do you have an item 19 yet?
We do have an item 19. So I know people, you're saying we're fairly new, but at the same time, we're not, right? Zach talked earlier that he built the company nationally. So we just started pushing franchising really only about a year ago, but we're nationwide already. There's a lot of work happening. So.
Right on. With those national accounts that he's secured, and then being able to manage it from the Salt Lake area on a national basis, bringing in the contractors, still having the world-class technology to control it and monitor quality. Love it. Love it. Yep. All right. Territories. Normally, so are there any areas you just want to definitely shy away from, or maybe some hot target markets? Bailey?
So hot target markets, Florida. Pretty much the entire state of Florida, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia, Denver, Colorado, Vegas on a residential, Los Angeles, pretty big right now. Phoenix. Really?
All right. They're available in California. Registered there.
Yeah, we're registered. Yep, we're in all the registered states.
Fantastic. Now, I heard you mention, Bailey, residential. Are there any contractual differences, like one franchise is residential, one is would a franchisee have the opportunity to do both?
Yeah, they do both. So our franchisees are more in charge of their local market development, which will be residential or local commercial, where then our corporate will do all the national accounts and pass those on to our franchisees. So that's basically a little cherry on top.
Yes, or a big cherry in some cases. Yeah. If a franchisee had an in with a national account, of course they can help you with that, and maybe get some nice bird dog commissions in the long term. Is that I'm implying, but I see Zach shaking his head. So bring it on.
I did one of those deals last night. I went out to drinks with a buddy of mine, and he whispered in my ear. I said, "Absolutely, let's
awesome."
So
that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be, and another nice fat cherry on top for the opportunity. Going back to you, Zach, you're the founder. This is the time to brag section. No humility allowed. Any rankings, PR, good news, accolades. What can you share about Painter Bros?
Okay. Well, I would probably start with our newest customers. So our newest customers, we just onboarded with Prologis is a big one. And we do a lot of front end research trying to determine who has money, who's spending money, and who spends the most money on what it is that we do. And so we bid on anything from CapEx budgets that are multi-million-dollar budgets spent on painting, roofing, flooring, and so on for corporate America, to OpEx, day-to-day expenses. And so we're currently bidding out 3-year contracts all over the U.S. on fixed hourly labor rates that we want to give to our franchisees to operate all over the country. And so I know when you ask Bailey, what are the hot markets? In her mind, she's like, every market, because we're bidding everywhere.
It
And
sounds
so,
like it.
yeah, so we just have a bunch of work. We're essentially franchising to provide infrastructure instead of franchising to have franchisees build a business. And so the cart and the horse, it's a constant battle.
Yep.
And we've got so much work in the pipeline right now that we need help to get it done.
What a blessing. Oh my gosh, that's a key differentiator for you. The fact that you've got such a huge pipeline of those national accounts and the demand already being there. Hey,
Yeah.
Bailey, let's jump on franchising a little bit more. What is a typical time frame? A candidate comes into process, has that first call with you. I would think this was is not a long drawn out. There's not the real estate component. There's not trying to find locations. It's a low investment, simple model, high tech model. What is a time frame from first conversation to awarding a franchise on average?
Usually about 4 to 6 weeks.
4 to 6
cover a lot.
weeks.
Yeah, I cover a lot of the financials and everything up front in that first call, so I know exactly where they're at and follow up with them pretty much weekly. Right after that, we have a good understanding by the time we get to the third call. Really.
Yeah. It's just I love the simplicity, the cost, the low cost, and of course the national accounts bring it back again. It's just solid. Love it. Hey, Bailey, we're gonna end with you. Go back to Zach. What am I missing? What else do the consultants understand about Painter Bros and keep you on that short list as to why they would show a candidate your brand? There's a lot of painting opportunities out there. So anything else I'm missing? We've already heard a bunch of opportunities and a bunch of reasons, Zach. I'm going to save Bailey for our last. She can be that cherry again, give us another reason to show Painter Bros. But anything else you'd like to share?
Well, we're looking for partners. We all work for each other at the end of the day. We work for our Z's, they work for us, and we come together and we do something special and unique. And we're looking for individuals who also think they're special and unique and want to provide that uniqueness and that skill set in a bigger picture and do it together. And so we think we're special. We think we're unique. Everyone does. But
you've proven it.
Like-minded people.
Absolutely. Have some fun, make some great money, have some fulfillment in life. Fantastic. Sky's the limit. Beautiful. Speaking of beautiful, Miss Bailey, what final thoughts do you have for the consultants?
Oh gosh. Well, I mean, we just upped our commission because we absolutely believe in our brand. We know that it's going to sell through the roof, and it's going to make our Z's a lot of money. And hopefully we get the right people in here. On a consultant level, they get a lot of communication with me. They get the honesty and straightforwardness, and they know that their candidate's going to be taken care of. And if I like them, we're going to make it happen. So
no doubt,
we need these. So
yeah. Well, Amy at our corporate office says you're a fantastic communicator. The frick and frack behind the scenes will be second to none, no doubt. You've already placed and awarded numerous franchises with consultants, so you understand that partnership and the responsibility of the ZOR to stay in constant communication with that three-way relationship you have with the consultant and the candidate. Love that. Appreciate that. Appreciate your commitment to the consultants. I know they're excited to get to know you guys better and your brand and introduce the world to Painter Bros. That, my friends, is IFPG Discover with the one and only Painter Bros, Zach Tanner, Bailey Rayner. Thank you guys for joining IFPG Discover today.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks.